Today I can announce that, subject to the bill passing, the overall number of international students starting a course next year will be set at 270,000.
Australia is capping the intake of foreign students to 270,000. The government looks to rein in record migration that has contributed to a spike in home rental prices. The idea is to turn the clock back to the pre-pandemic levels.
This includes higher education courses and vocational education and training courses. And what this means is next year that there'll be about the same number of international students starting a course here as there were before the pandemic. There'll be more in our universities and there'll be fewer in our private vocational providers.
New international student enrolments will be capped at 145,000 for universities and 95,000 for practical and skill-based courses. As on end September last year, net immigration hit a record high to 5,48,800, mostly driven by students from India, China and Philippines.
There's about 10% more international students in our universities today than before the pandemic, and about 50% more in our private vocational and training providers. Students are back, but so are the shops, people that are seeking to exploit this industry to make a quick buck. And we're implementing a number of reforms to tackle that.
The decision follows a raft of action since last year to end COVID-era concessions for foreign students and workers that helped businesses recruit staff locally, while strict border controls kept overseas workers out. Polls have shown voters are concerned about large influxes of foreign students and workers, putting excess pressure on the housing market. With election less than an year away, that has made immigration one of the potential major battlegrounds. To contain the surge in migration, the government last month doubled the visa fee for foreign students. It also pledged to close loopholes in rules that allowed them to continuously extend their stay. But the international education sector contributes about $48 billion to Australia's economy, and the government is aware of that.
International education is extremely important, and these reforms are designed to make it better and fairer and set it up on a more sustainable footing going forward.
Universities Australia, the apex body representing universities in Australia, says the government's decision will apply a handbrake to Australia's second biggest export industry. In a statement, its chair, Professor David Lloyd, said, "International students' fees help drive Australia's economy and support universities to operate, making up a shortfall in government funding for research, teaching, and campus infrastructure. Every dollar from overseas students is reinvested back into Australia's universities. Having fewer students here will only widen the funding gap at a time universities need greater support." International students accounted for more than half of the Australia's GDP growth last year, almost single-handedly saving the nation from recession. The sector is the second biggest export behind mining and supports around 250,000 jobs.